If you're an online business owner, you have to do videos if you're going to sustain and build, or build and sustain, a long-term business. There's no other way around it. Yes, you can do AI. Yes, you can do all kinds of different things, but essentially people want to see you. People do business with people, and that means doing video. And that means if you don't like doing video, it means going out there and doing it and getting uncomfortable a little bit, so people get to know you, like you, and trust you. And video is the best way to do that. I had a question the other day from a subscriber, lady called Amanda, and Amanda asked, would like to know how to make simple videos like you do with your case study. If you could make a video explaining how it's done, that would be great. Okay, so I really appreciate you sending out an email, Amanda, so thanks for that. What is the way to do a video? The easiest way to do a video is really understand your subject. And what I used to say, or what I do say, is learn, do, teach. So learn something for yourself, implement it into your business, and then go and teach it. And it's a bit like when you've watched a really good film. And I know last night I was chilling out. I never went to see this film at the cinema, but it was the Top Gun film Maverick, and everybody was talking about it. Everyone was saying how great it was. Everybody had their own opinion on Val Kilmer's role and how it impacted the film. But essentially, everybody had something to share about the film because they'd watched it. And when it comes to doing video, if you've done something in your business, you've actually implemented a strategy and you've tested it and you've put it out to an audience and you've got feedback on that, then you can do a video on that. So the simplest way I would say about doing a video is a bit like making a sandwich. You know, bread, filling, bread. Okay. So the first layer of bread is like your introduction. Now the thing is, because video has moved on a bit more, there's no real need for an introduction. People just go straight into it, just like I did, straight into it, talking about video. Because what you're looking to do in the first 3 seconds is put a hook out there, get people's attention, and get people to watch your video. So it's even easier, really. You've just got to look and you've got to get a hook together. Now, when I was doing, or when I when I do a video for My Lead Gen Secret on the case study, I'll say, it's John McLaughlin, welcome to another episode of the My Lead Gen Secret case study, where we see how much revenue we can generate in 12 months using whatever I say, something like that. But you know the sort of thing. That's what I say. Now that's the introduction. But what I would say is the introduction needs to be your hook. Did you know that 50% of people online fail for this very reason? And I would guarantee you're doing one of these. Let me show you what I mean. That's a hook, okay? Anything can be a hook that gets people interested. Now the other thing is the value that you give, the fill-in of your sandwich. Now at the moment, a lot of people are trying to replicate the fill-in with AI. And you need to be present in your business and you need to be present with your audience. Now AI works, but there are big elements of the business missing, which is you. You turning up, you doing videos, the painful bit that people want to avoid. Okay, so let me give an example. A lot of people are going out there, they're learning something on YouTube, they're kind of getting the concept, they go, that's really good, that's a really good thing I can use, but instead of actually using it in my business, the learn, do, teach is I'll just learn it and I'll go and teach it without implementing it into the business. So the fill-in is a bit like dry chicken. It's like, okay, this is a sandwich, it's okay, but it's a bit dry and it's a bit like yesterday's warmed up chicken. So the ingredients you can put into that is add in mayo, okay? Add in a bit of cayenne pepper, add in your own humor, add in your own personality into that video, into that presentation. And I tell you, if you're brand new to the business, part of that personality is you holding your hands up going, hey, you know what? I've been doing this business for 5 minutes. I joined yesterday. I don't really know a huge amount of what goes on, but let me tell you why I joined, because I tell you what, I found some really interesting things out why I joined this particular business. you've captured people's attention, and you've also created authenticity with your audience, which is greatly lacking right now, because most people think they've got to be in a position of leadership, or they've had to have made sales in order to make sales. And it's so wrong. It's so wrong. Yeah. I just started yesterday. Let me just show you what I did. Okay. That's great. All right. So that, in essence, that is your filling of your sandwich, and fill it with as much you as possible. Don't just go and try and hoodwink people like the majority of people do. Okay, I've been in this business for a very long time. I'm very experienced, therefore you should listen to me. So please pay attention. You know, it's all just pretentious nonsense. Just be honest with people and be 100% or 101% authentic in what you do and what you say to your audience, because people now are more switched on than they ever were when it comes to video. So people can tell somebody who isn't telling the truth more so than they did 5 or 10 years ago, okay, because people are more attuned to it. So just bear that in mind. And you'll get people on board as leads, as subscribers, as customers, as long-term customers, if you're genuine with those people. Okay, so we'll labour the point on that. The next thing is, you've talked about what you've discovered, you're going to teach something, you're going to give some value. And in the majority of the videos that you do, think about giving value to your audience. Don't think about, how can I sell these people? How can I implement a pattern interrupt? How can I do this to try and make them buy something? Forget all that nonsense. Just give them value, because they in turn will then want to do business with you, because it's an attraction marketing technique. It's not even a technique, it's being you. Okay, so just be completely honest with people. The next thing you want to do is segue into your call to action. Okay, and that really wants to be a nice, simple, feminine, female kind of orientated approach. A man will say, go and buy my stuff, go and buy my stuff now, it's absolutely fantastic, blah, 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 male dominated, testosterone fueled silliness. A woman or a female approach will say, you know, I invite you to have a look at the link, and I'll be on the next page, and I can share you some more information right there, okay? Or I can give you this wonderful lead magnet or something along those lines. So be very gentle and be very unassuming when it comes to calls to action, but always have that call to action in mind. So that is the final layer of the bread. It's the outro. Let me give you a quick story. When I first got into this business, I used to make a benchmark for the 6 and 7 figure earners, because it was like the most painful thing I could do is interview them on video, but that's what I did. And sometimes it went really well, and sometimes it went really badly. And one of the first things I did, or one of the first interviews I did, it didn't go so great. First of all, the intro was about 3 or 4 minutes long. It was me talking, and the two people in the background were sort of looking at me and going, yeah, and thinking, well, when's he going to turn to us? Okay, so refine your intros. But the outro, they did their piece to camera, talking about mindset, absolutely fantastic. They knew their subject inside out. They handed the microphone back to me, and I went, what do I do now? What do I do now? And what seemed like about an hour looking at the camera, I went back to the studio. And I was like, what have I just done? I've just made myself look completely ridiculous. And that's because I hadn't really prepared the outro or the call to action. And someone said to me some really good advice. He just said, look, just go talk soon. And I was like, wow, I could refine that. So what I ended up doing was, let's say I'm talking to Chris and Bob, okay? So I go, this is Chris and Bob, I'm John McLaughlin, we'll talk soon, bye for now. And it's a lovely little segue into, it just finishes everything off. It kind of makes that sandwich really good. The other thing you can do is you can give people a call to action. Okay, for more information, have a look at the link below. I'm John McLaughlin. This is Bill and Bob. We'll talk soon. Bye for now. And do that, and just have that branded call to action at the end, and it makes a big difference. And when you The one thing I realised was I went on a mastermind in Spain somewhere, and I was interviewing people. Can I interview you? Yeah, can I interview you? Yep. And of course that attracted a bit of attention. And because you've got that intro, the middle bit, and the outro polished, people think you're some master guru when all you're doing is you've just been practicing videos. Okay, introduction, your main points, and again with the main fill-in of your sandwich, give people some value. Don't just sell people, because that turns people off really quick. Okay, so give them little wins. Every little stage. So at the first stage of your video, you give them little wins. In your lead magnet, you're giving them little wins. In your follow-ups, you're giving them little wins. If you then follow up with them with a one-to-one call, you're giving them little wins. Is there any chance that they're going to know, like, and trust you fairly quickly if you're giving them little wins? Absolutely they are. So do that, even if it's one little point. And the other thing as well, I'll just finish on this, is really get to know and understand who your audience is. Get to know their pain points, get to know their language, get to know what really gets them up in the morning and what their motivations are for building a business. And that will get them more on board, because they will resonate with you and your message and your brand better than just being generic to anyone. Okay, and I know there's a temptation sometimes when you want to put your message out there and you're in a rush to do a video or a rush to do a blog post without doing any real research. Let me tell you, it's so important to do that research to find out who your audience is, and you will do that quickly by doing videos and getting the feedback on the videos and reaching out to people and saying, hey, you know what, if you want a one-to-one Zoom call, let me know. We'll have a quick chat. And that is the best way to get feedback, to find out who your audience really is. And over time, what you're going to do is you're going to start to assimilate lots of information about who your audience is. And then when you go and do videos, it's going to be so easy to be recalling all these different people that you've spoken to find out the touch points, to find out what motivates them, and to find out the solutions that you can give in your business. And it's just a simple case of doing that. So yeah, your first videos that you do aren't going to be great, but it's better than doing nothing. It's 1,000% better than doing nothing. Then you can learn from those videos. Then it's just a constant process of learning and just understanding who your audience is and going forward and just giving them those little wins. And that's it. And essentially what I would say is go out and do it. Don't wait. Don't wait until the timing's right. Don't wait until you've got, I mean, look at me, I'm in a different office, I'm in a different house. I've got my camera in front of me and I've got like a little laptop light, and that's what's shining me up. I haven't got my studio gear around me, but I'm still doing the videos, okay? And I'm still getting the message out there, okay? Anyway, Amanda, people watching this, I hope that's answered your question. If it hasn't, drop me a comment below. That's what this platform's for. Not really sure what you're talking about, John. Put me a comment below. Ask me anything that you want to ask me, and I always reply to the comments. So anyway, hope that's really helped. If it has, give me a thumbs up. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe. You don't have to talk. Hit that subscribe button if you're not yet subscribed. Comment below if you anything that you need. Reach out to me, and we will talk on the next video. I'm John McLaughlin. We'll talk soon. Bye for now.